The rise and fall of the first smartphone is explored in the newest film, BlackBerry. So let's see if it's worth your time. Hey everybody, my name's Justin here. I try to watch everything that hits theaters and on streaming services. If you guys are like me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell notification for more up and coming content. The company behind the first smartphone, the BlackBerry, meets a catastrophic demise. So this film stars Glenn Howerton and Jay Baruchel in a film that explores the rise of the BlackBerry. When I was younger, I always associated people who had a BlackBerry to be rich. My uncle had one, he was wealthy, and I just loved how they looked. And this is an interesting film. It's really entertaining, but the style of it reminds me a little bit of The Office mixed with The Social Network. It's got some humor within it. It feels like a documentary at times, but the way they explore the rise of the company, the logistics behind everything, kind of gives it that Social Network feel for it. In the beginning of the film, we see this rise of this company with Jay Baruchel and Matthew Johnson, him creating the first smartphone and then getting Glenn Howerton's character involved with all of this and then bringing in a lot of other people to make this company rise. And then them trying to compete with Apple as well. It does explore a lot. I love looking at the behind the scenes aspects to the company rather than just them being successful. The failures as well. Also hiring and paying the staff and creating the smartphone and trying to sell it as well. The business aspect to it is very strong, and we get an understanding of how huge this smartphone was, but also it's ultimately going to fail as well once we got to the iPhone that was released. Glenn Howerton and Jay Baruchel, I think this is probably their best performances I have seen. I love Glenn Howerton on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's absolutely funny.
That, I can go lower.
Bro, that is badass.
But here he plays a very aggressive CEO. He wants things done his way. He's not afraid to get into people's faces. I love the energy that he brings to this character. And Jay Baruchel is very quiet at times, but since we see this kind of progression of the company and it spans over several years, we get a progression of this character as well. Going from someone that is very quiet and believes in this smartphone, but also you see how Glenn Howerton's character starts to have this influence on him and he starts to become aggressive as well. And as we dive a little more deeper into how these staff members were hired and some illegal things that were going on, the company's starting to fail. And you see how these actors are handling some of these more emotional scenes for the characters, and I love the performances in here. Glenn Howerton, Jay Baruchel, they also have some really good chemistry. Matthew Johnson brings the fun energy to the film. Doesn't take things too seriously, but is very smart within the film, is able to contribute a lot to the story. It's a smartly written film that balances drama and humor. There are times that I did laugh, but it's not a film that is trying to go for constant jokes. It's able to balance it in between. Then you have these dramatic scenes, the company failing, and you have the company rising and failing as well. It handles all of those dramatic scenes very well. And so that balance is very strong in here. I love how this film looked, kind of giving it a documentary feel to it. The color and editing for it feels very early 2000s, which matches the era that the BlackBerry started to rise and became hugely popular. But overall, BlackBerry was a really entertaining film. I feel like I got a lot of information about the company, and a lot of it I did find very intriguing about the smartphone and it being the first one. But also the performances are a huge standout within this film. It's solid from beginning to end. And as the film progresses, we see how these characters handle everything. And we get those raw emotions for these characters. So definitely check out BlackBerry if you liked Social Network and how deep it went into the company, not just creating everything, but also looking at like the CEO's job and getting the staff members involved as well. I think you will enjoy BlackBerry. It's got like this splash of humor, especially coming more from Matthew Johnson, as he's someone who absolutely loves movie nights. So there's a lot of fun scenes like that throughout the film, but also it just feels very dramatic and we get a lot of information about the BlackBerry And then you look at where we are now with smartphones. Look at the first smartphone, BlackBerry, and how it just changed everything. Now we have phones that can do so much. It's interesting to put everything into perspective, where BlackBerry started to where we are now with the smartphones. So before I give you my score for BlackBerry, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer actions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit the subscribe button to get it all in one spot. I'm gonna go ahead and give BlackBerry a B+. Thank you guys for checking out my review for BlackBerry. Have you guys seen it by chance? What'd you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.